As we start this, let's quickly watch the moment the French warships intercept drones from Yemen. It was a serious blast. Pow. All right, we are starting with this. Police have found the body of an 11-year-old Texas girl who went missing last week, and they are poised to file murder charges against a family friend. A suspect in the case, 42-year-old Don Stephen McDougall, who sometimes took Audrey, that is the name of the girl, to school, is already in custody on an unrelated assault charge. Oh my goodness, that's very saddening. If he's found guilty, please come tell me. Let me deal with him. But honestly, cases like this infuriate me a lot. Infuriate me a lot. You will find the details of these on BBC News. Go and read for yourself. A Utah mother whose harsh parenting advice made her a YouTube influencer has been sentenced to at least 4 years in prison for child abuse. Ruby Frankie, 42, tearfully apologized in court as she learned her fate. She previously pleaded guilty to starving and abusing her own children. Can you imagine that? What kind of a mother would do that? How can you be harsh to your own children? Now she's in 4 years in prison. Sorry, Ruby. The details of that is in BBC News. Go and read for yourself. An appeals court in Chile's capital on Tuesday ruled that the case of Chilean poet and Nobel Prize winner Pablo Neruda's death be reopened, saying the investigation has not been exhausted and new steps could help clarify the cause of his death. Well, the full details of that is on CBC News. Go read for yourself if you care to know the details. Okay, now let's give you some news from Nigeria. The federal government of Nigeria is set to resume the trial of Nnamdi Kanu, the self-appointed leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, on terrorism charges come Monday, February 26, barring any unforeseen circumstances. In other words, you can't say this is the reason why you can't appear in the court. So this decision follows the Supreme Court's judgment on December 15, 2023, which cleared the path for the continuation of Kanu's trial on the remaining 7 count charges against him. If you want to know the details of that, go to Politics Nigeria and read the full details by yourself. Thank you. Oh, this is going to be a very good news for so many people in Nigeria right now. Former president of the Trade Union Congress, TUC, Comrade Peter Isili, has said that subsidy on petroleum products has been returned fully by the federal government. Hello, that's a good news. Isili disclosed this yesterday while speaking on Channels TV live program, which was monitored in Port Harcourt, the River State capital. In his words, he said, fuel subsidy is back. Fuel subsidy is back. This is not something we should be arguing about. Fuel subsidy is back, and it is even back with full force. If government wants to be open, they will tell you that fuel subsidy is back in full swing. You will get that details on leadership side. Go and read for yourself. I think that's a good news if it is back and if the federal government announces it. But I'm not sure the federal government had announced it yet. But we hope it is back so things will get better in the country. Oh, now let's talk about Emefiele. Emefiele. Somebody say Emefiele. The former governor of Central Bank of Nigeria, Godwin Emefiele, has threatened to take legal action against the Senate President Godswill Akpabio for what he alleges as defamation. In the letter dated February 19, Emefiele asserted that Akpabio's comments portrayed him as the cause of Nigerians' hardship, which he deemed defamatory and damaging to his personality. So Emefiele, through his legal representative Matthew Bulka San, issued a letter to Akpabio demanding a written apology published in the media, or Akpabio faces lawsuit. Hello, Emekwili is not taking it easy with anybody. God doesn't want to go down alone. For full details, go to News Direct. You're already there. Emefiele. This is another good news for the Nigerians, I believe. Um, the Minister of Housing and Urban Development, Ahmed Dangiwa, has issued a threat on Tuesday in Abuja at a meeting with cement and building materials manufacturers that if the prices of cement are not reduced, if they burn them well and they do not reduce the prices of cement, border will be opened for importation of cement. So all cement manufacturers and sellers, can you hear that? Borders will be opened and more cement will be imported in. Now, there's a good news that the cement has been reduced from 10,000, 11,000 to 7,000, 8,000. I think that's a good news. We hope it reduces more. That you will find the full details on Premium Times. Go and read the full details for yourself, my brother. Let's talk about this in the UK. Britain imposes sanctions on 6 individuals in charge of the Arctic penal colony where Russian opposition leader Alexei Navalny died last week. Those sanctioned, including the head and 5 deputy heads of the penal colony, will be banned from the UK and have their assets frozen. British Foreign Secretary David Cameron says this. Full details is in Times of Israel. That's why I got the details from, that news from. From Nigeria again, this one is a shocking one. Nobody is a saint again, I beg. See, the national chairman of the Labour Party, Mr. Julius Abure, has been arrested by security operatives. If you guys can recall that there has been a case, he's been under fire following accusations of embezzling over 3 billion naira party funds. So Albure has been arrested though. And I'm shocked. Well, I'm not shocked. Hey, we're all human beings and nobody is a saint. You know that. So the details of that is on Politics Nigeria. You can read that for yourself. This one is a very funny one from Nigeria again. The Vice President Kashim Shettima has claimed that some forces in the country are planning to disrupt the country's stability and plunge it into anarchy. Shettima made the claim on Tuesday while speaking at the Public Wealth Management Conference organized by the Ministry of Finance and Ministry of Finance Incorporated, MOFR, in Abuja. According to the Vice President Shettima, he said these certain forces failed to attain power through legitimate means and they are willing to see Nigeria fall apart for their own interest. I don't get it. How did you even win? Was it even legitimate? It's so obvious the election was rigged. So you're accusing other people for your failure? I don't think that makes sense, sir. I don't think that makes sense. Well, the details of that is in Extreme News. You can read that for yourself. That's funny to me. Mhm. Still on Nigerian matter, a UK-based pastor, Tomi Arayomi, has said that what is happening to President Bola Tinubu is what happens when you get into medical school by stealing someone's exam papers. I don't get it. What kind of comparison is this? I don't get it. It's like when you see somebody's exam paper and you enter into medical school. So that means when you enter, because it's not your paper, it's not your exam that you passed, that means you're going to fail in your activities. You're going to fail in your performance. Wow. That's a very crazy one. Hey, Pastor, be careful. Don't let us arrest you. Uh-huh. So I don't even know where I got the details from. So just read it for you. Let's quickly go back to the UK. From the summer, newly issued banknotes will feature the likeness of the king on all 4 denominations. In other words, the face of King Charles will be appearing on the new banknotes and all denomination. That is £5, £10, 50, and £20. And please take note that the notes that feature the Queen Elizabeth will still remain legal tender and we could circulate alongside King Charles' notes. So there's nothing like the Queen's notes is over or it will just be out. No. it's going to co-circulate. So that means both King Charles face and Queen's face will be going hand in hand in the country. That's a very good one. Details on the skynews.com. While still in the UK, let's quickly touch this. An argument has erupted between Boris Johnson and Tucker Carlson over claims that the former prime minister requested $1 million US to be interviewed by the controversial journalist. The former Fox News host claimed Mr. Johnson wanted a $1 million fee, that's around £793,000, to talk to him. However, Mr. Johnson's team said he accepted this offer on the basis the money would go to Ukrainian charities. Now, Oga Johnson, the question is, did you demand for a fee of $1 million before you could be interviewed or not? Yeah? Okay. In UK again, junior doctors are striking again this week over payment. In Wales, a new 3-day walkout has begun. The strikes there follow the longest in the history of the NHS in England last month. The 10th round of junior doctor strike action in England will also take place later in February. Health service executives have said this year's strikes could mean one of the most difficult starts to the year the NHS has ever faced. That's going to have some kind of effects on the health in the UK. Okay, let's quickly talk about an entertainment news. Shatta Wale had opened up about what happened between himself and Burna Boy. He said they used to be close friends, but the rift between them started after a former employee told Burna Boy that this Shatta Wale slept with his girlfriend, with Burna Boy's girlfriend. Wahala. Speaking during a recent interview on radio, Shatta Wale expressed disappointment that the last crooner did not even bother to inquire from him if the information was genuinely true. Maybe he truthfully slept with his girlfriend, with his babe. The question is, Shatta Wale, you do am, abi you no do am? You do am, abi you no do am? Let me move, abeg. Let's go back to Nigeria. The Nigerian Association of Road Transport Owners, NARTO, has suspended its planned nationwide strike. The suspension follows a meeting of the association with the federal government and stakeholders on Monday after tanker drivers stopped lifting petroleum products. So those guys are not striking again. They are back to work. That's you're going to get the details on the Cable NG. Let's quickly pick this news from India. As many as 54 detonators were found abandoned in 2 boxes at Kalyan railway station on Wednesday, following which the government railway police GRP has launched a probe. The police was alerted after train passengers found the boxes lying unattended on platform number 1 of Kalyan station on the Central Railway route. The details is on India Express. You can go and grab that and read for yourself. Still in India, the Calcutta High Court Jalpaiguri Circuit Bench on Wednesday directed the West Bengal government to submit a report in the form of an affidavit over the naming of a lioness as Sita at Siliguri's Bengal Safari Park. The VHP, in its writ petition, which was presented on Friday, had submitted that such names for the cat family were irrational, illogical, and tantamount to blasphemy. Details on IndianExpress.com. Go and read for yourself. Well, I don't know the meaning of Sita, but that sound not cute for the cat family. Okay, finally, still in India, an official has released that the Indian Army on Wednesday rescued more than 500 tourists stranded at Natula along the India-China border in Sikkim due to heavy snowfall. The Trishkati Corps men rushed to the rescue and provided succor to the stranded tourists. Oh, wow. Heavy snowfall brought about a stranding. Okay, the details is on IndianExpress.com. Finally, let's talk about Russia and United States. The UK has become the first country to issue sanctions against Russian officials over the death of Alexei Navalny, targeting bosses at the Polar Wolf penal colony where he died last week. Details of that is on Sky News. And lastly, also, the United States is set to announce new sanctions against Russia over the death of leader Alexei Navalny and the two-year war in Ukraine. Speaking to reporters on Tuesday, U.S. President Joe Biden did not give details but said he would provide more information about the package of measures on Friday ahead of the second anniversary of Russia's invasion of Ukraine. All right, guys, that's going to be the last one we're going to be delivering to you guys today. So tomorrow again, expect